Welcome to the Knowonecares channel. This is your boy Troy. Man, I appreciate you tuning in. Comment, like, subscribe to the Knowonecares channel. In today's video, we are going to talk about how women attack the productive simps with religion. Now, on the Knowonecares channel, we talk a lot about power dynamics, becoming the best versions of ourselves. And one of the reasons why men should always be working on improving themselves, working on getting better, not being relaxed, becoming competent, like Jason Black talks about, being fastidious, is because we can't afford to be naive to female nature. We can't afford to be naive to how the world works. The way the world works, it is what it is. It is what it is. A lot of us, man, we were raised under women or with beta males, and now we are falpus. We socially awkward because we haven't had a masculine male figure to teach us what it really means to be a man, what we really need to see and what we really need to do to win out here as men. As men, we don't have the option. We don't have the option to make mistakes and not get penalized for making the mistakes. If you're a man and you have deficiency in your game, if you're a man and you show weakness, you will get punished. You will get punished by men and by women, both. Now, there's been a lot going on with the relationships since the pandemic. We've learned that during the pandemic, your relationship is either going to flourish or it's going to fail. And in the relationship that we're going to focus in on today, Megan Good and Devon Franklin, we can say that it's failing. They've decided to go their separate ways. In this situation, you have Devon Franklin, who's a preacher, and you have Megan Good, who's been playing a good girl in her relationship. But we all know in all her movie scenes and previous times in her life, she's been the bad girl. So let's read in on this People exclusive article, and then we're going to zoom on in on how women attack the productive simp. It says Megan Good and Devon Franklin's split may not have been a surprise to those who knew them. After the Harlem actress, she was 40 years old, and the preacher, Devon, who's 43, announced their decision to divorce on Tuesday after 9 years of marriage. A source tells People that Good and Franklin breakup was a long time coming. This is about the average that marriages tend to end between 7 and 9 years. So they lasted 9. It says their work schedules often kept them apart and they just haven't been spending a lot of time together this past year, the source says. When they did have time in their schedules, it often just be hours that they would be able to spend time together. As we know, when this excuse comes about, not having time, that's the female's fault. Because men, we are always supposed to be busy. We are the workhorses. We work. We're always supposed to be busy. It's the woman that adjusts to the man. It's the woman that molds herself to the man. So when you have a marriage or relationship, and one of the main excuses is schedules, and we heard this in Tiffany Haddish's split with Common. We heard this same excuse about not having time. I'm telling you, when you see these situations, you start to see a pattern. It says Megan Good and Franklin wed in June 2012 in Malibu, California, after they met on the set of the movie Jumping the Broom in 2011 when he was working as a studio executive. It says they moved really quickly when they first got together, and Devon fell super hard for her. It's sad, but it's been a long time coming. Megan is really busy with work right now and is doing her best to stay positive. After so long together, it's a big life change for both of them, obviously, the source adds. A separate insider similarly tells people due to their busy work schedules and filming in different states, they didn't see each other that much even before COVID. Then they spent a massive amount of time together, but after that, barely saw each other. Devon Franklin is an executive producer on the upcoming BET series Kingdom Business, which wrapped filming in Atlanta in August. Reps for Good and Franklin did not immediately respond to people's request for a comment. It says on Tuesday, Good and Franklin announced their split in a joint statement 6 months after celebrating their 9th wedding anniversary. After much prayer and consideration, we have decided to go into our future separately, but forever connected. Okay, they're practicing a form of Malinger. They're practicing a form of Malinger to their schedules. Okay, yeah, all right. It says we celebrate almost a decade of marriage together and a love that is eternal. There's no one at fault. We believe this is the next best chapter in our evolution of our love, the exes continued. It says we are incredibly grateful for the life-changing years we spent together as husband and wife. We are extremely thankful to God for the testimony being created inside of us both and for blessing our lives with each other, they added. It says, Franklin previously sang Good's praises earlier this month, celebrating the release of her Amazon Prime video series, Harlem. I'm so proud of my love at Megan Good. She's one of the most talented actors on the planet, and she's funnier than you may know. I'm so glad you finally get a chance to see her do it all as Camille Parks in the new Amazon show, Harlem, he wrote on Instagram. In addition to documenting their lives together on social media, Good and Franklin wrote the 2015 book, The Wait, a powerful practice for finding the love of your life and the life you love. Wow. Now, that definitely was an act to be ostentatious. That definitely was an act to be ostentatious. I mean, they definitely wanted people to look at their marriage in awe, and they wanted to, be looked at like everything's okay. But as we know, a lot of relationships, most relationships actually that look like everything's okay, usually it's not okay. Now, when you look at Devon Franklin, all right, you look at Devon Franklin, he's a preacher, 43 years old, all right. This is a guy who's very productive man, very successful man, handles his business, knows how to protect and provide. Let's not get that twisted. But see, the problem comes when people focus on the man. We focusing on the man, but they got to start focusing on the female. Because when you look at Megan Good, right? Megan Good is a successful woman, but she's got some things going on. She's got some things going on. She actually made that man wait for sex. But that goes against her previous behavior. Like the way she's acted previously in her roles in movies, in her life. She hasn't been that goody Christian woman. She hasn't been that goody girl, goody Christian woman. But once she met Devon Franklin, a preacher, she wanted to make him wait for sex. Now, the reason that I can speak on this, I understand this. I've been through this. I understand things like this. And what happens is when women meet a man that's a productive simp, that means he's productive outside of the house. He's an alpha outside of the house. But when it comes to female relationships, he has gaps. So women are hardwired to understand and read man. They have high detail. They're hardwired to reward progress, to reward productivity, but they're also hardwired to read emotional gaps. Okay. Now, the thing about most of our men, we were raised, under women or with beta male fathers. We're emotionally deficient when it comes to dealing with women. A lot of us, we haven't been in a lot of relationships. We don't have a lot of experience when it comes to dealing with women. You don't understand how they work. You don't understand that you shouldn't trust women. You have to lead women. A lot of us, man, we believe that all of a sudden a woman can be Miss Goody Goody Girl all of a sudden after being for the streets. We actually think that's a possible change, that you can go, because she's 40, so you can go 30 years damn near of being, of being raised a certain way. Then all of a sudden you meet a certain guy, you can all of a sudden switch into making a man wait for sex, into being a devoured Christian woman operating like a nun damn near. That's not possible. And Devon Franklin was deficient when it comes to dealing with women. He was a beta male. He's a beta male when it comes to dealing with women. And you see the same pattern in a lot of relationships. You see the same pattern when it comes to Steph Curry and Ayesha Curry. Their home life, it's Christian based. And you have a woman that's, there's always been talks lately that they have an open relationship. And that's because Ayesha, she understands that she has an emotionally deficient male and she wants to get back into the streets. She wants a taste of the streets. She wants that bad. She wants to be a bad girl. But she understands that Steph is too productive to just let him go. So she wants the best of both worlds. So they have an open relationship. When it comes to Sierra and Russell Wilson, when you look at that situation, it's a paradox. It's a contradiction. She's been rided, singing rided. She's been with Bow Wow. She's been doing all type of stuff. She's been passed around the whole music industry. Then all of a sudden she meets Russell Wilson, and all of a sudden that stops. She meets a Christian man and everything stops. Russell Wilson is a productive simp. He's a very productive man. He knows how to provide and protect, but he's emotionally deficient. He has gaps. He doesn't understand how women work. And since women are hardwired to care for children, they understand what it means when a baby's crying. They understand that, hey, the baby's crying, but hey, it's not that the baby's sick, or it's not that the baby is not, in a comfortable position. It's just that the baby's teething. Let him cry. He's teething right now. That's a process that babies go through. But a man, why is the baby crying? We need to get him to stop crying. Why is he crying? We just want the baby to stop crying. But a woman understands that the baby's teething, so they can read emotions very good. And just because they interact with a man, that doesn't mean that their emotional senses stop all of a sudden. They read emotions with man. And when you have a productive simp, that's an easy win for a woman, because now you're getting the financial security that you need without the obligations that's required when you meet a guy that's an alpha all the way around. There's no such thing as a perfect alpha, but there's a such thing as a man that's an alpha all the way around. There's not many holes in his game. With those men, you have to bring certain things to the table. You can't pull a lot of wool over their eyes. They understand it. And that's what the women really want. But if they can't get that man, they'll settle for a Russell Wilson. They'll settle for a Devon Franklin, because most of those men do not want women like Sierra and Megan Good and Ayesha Curry, because they have other options, other desires. They have needs. They have demands. And a lot of women don't want to deal with those demands from those men. But since women contradict themselves, they really want those men. They really want those men. If they could get those men, they would. But unfortunately, most of those women can't get those men. They can't get men who are productive alphas and emotional alphas. So they have to settle for the beta male simps. And when they get those guys, they not only get them, but they use them, they manipulate them, and then they usually leave them after they feel like the man has peaked. They usually leave them. Okay. When the man peaks, that's when they usually leave that productive simp. That's just how it goes. That's why men have to lead women and not trust women. Just lead her. Just lead her. That's all you have to do. When it comes to women utilizing religion, man, because that's a big thing that women tend to do. They tend to use religion as a power to attack productive simps. Now, there's nothing wrong with religion. I'm a God-fearing man. There's nothing wrong with religion until you get into a situation where your religion makes you comfortable with being abused. Because you as a man, you cannot afford to be in a position to be abused. The world will abuse you until you perish. There's not anyone going to stop someone from abusing you. Oh, just stop abusing him. I mean, okay, you've abused him enough. Stop now. Stop now. There's no one's going to stop it. Once someone starts abusing you, that's it. They're going to keep on doing it. I mean, we're not in a world that leaves weak people alone. We're in a world that abuses weak people. We're in a world that eliminates weak people. The graveyard, the funeral homes, is full of people that were abused because they were weak. We're not in a world that loves Mr. Nice Guy. Nice guys don't finish at all. So religion is good as long as you don't let your religion put you in a place to become abused. So when we come back to the topic of Devon Franklin and Megan Good, you have a man that's a productive simp that has gotten with Megan Good, who's emotionally on a whole nother level. She said before she met Devon, she was, for the streets, having fun, being with different guys. But when she met Devon, hold up, wait a while before we have sex. Hold up, wait a while before we have sex. Wait a minute. Why you making Devon wait to have sex with you? But you never made the other man wait 9 months, 6 months, wait till marriage. You never let the other man wait that long. But Devon, you want to make him wait because you want to drive the price of sex. You want to drive that price up for him because this is a form of manipulation. When you know that a productive alpha, a man that's an alpha emotionally and physically, is not going to go for that. He's not going to play that game. But with Devon, you can play that game. He'll allow that game. He'll allow you to make him wait. Because now, in his mind, he's thinking that since she made me wait, she's made other men wait. Even if he's seen her with other men, in his mind, since he's operating in an emotional format, a beta format, he feels like since she made me wait, she's made other men wait. Just like Russell Wilson. They waited for marriage, and Russell believes since she made him wait that the price is high for all the other men too. Even if he's seen her being moved around in the music industry, in his beta ass mindset, he feels like, yeah, but they were just talking. They were just hanging out. They wasn't having sex. Oh, that's a picayune. If they had sex or not, that's picayune. That's small. That's a little importance. She made me wait. In my mindset, she's made other men wait. So they think this is propriety. This is correct behavior. They think women making them wait and not making other men wait. They think that's correct behavior. They think all of a sudden a woman can just switch up and change. And that's not the case. So when you do that, and then you add the power of religion behind it, because as we know, most of these churches are full of women, right? That go in up and down on an emotional roller coaster because the pastor puts them there. The pastor makes them feel good, puts them on an emotional high, and then they get out of church and get back into reality, and their emotions get back down, go back down slowly to reality, and then they go back to church and get back up again. He gets their high back up. But what happens is women stay in church for years and can't keep a man because they stay with the emotional up and downs, but they don't change anything in their logic. They don't change anything in their behavior. They don't understand what to look for in a man, what traits a man needs, what traits that they should have as women. They don't understand anything. They don't learn. They refuse to change. They refuse to adapt to a strong man. The only man that they listen to is their pastor. And then when they get with a man, they go home and talk to their man about what the pastor said. And ain't no real man going to be listening to what another man tells them to do. And then they wonder why men leave. And then they wonder why they're 50, 60 years old by themselves, but their pastor's wife has a man, but their pastor has a woman, but they can't seem to find a man. And then they wonder why men leaving the church. So women attack productive simps with religion because they can read and they realize the emotional gaps that most men have, because most men were raised in a feminine household, because most men were eliminated from the household, right, by the government and by the women. So most women are raising young men by themselves. I mean, remember, let's keep this clear, man. No one cares. No one gives a damn. When you're an emotionally deficient man, you will get abused. You will get punished by men and women. When you are a productive man, an alpha man, outside of dealing with women, but you're a simp when dealing with women, you will get abused. You will get punished. And you will be naive to female nature, and you will be naive to male nature. And man can't afford to be naive to logical thinking. I appreciate you guys tuning in to the No One Cares channel. Comment, like, subscribe. Until you change your mindset, no one cares, but just no one cares, and he wants you to become the best version of yourself. I'm out.